Welcome back to Into the Chatterverse, where two gents share their 2 cents on pop media. I am Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
And I'm Bill, and I'm too busy screwing everything up.
You didn't screw anything up. Come on, man. We got over our technical difficulties, and we're glad that you guys are with us because we're here to talk about the beginnings of the Acolyte series that dropped on Disney+. Again, the Star Wars universe is growing, right? And it's aiming to do something a little different, I think, by not focusing on the Skywalker saga anymore, at least in this capacity. And I was super excited about this series specifically because it featured Carrie-Anne Moss. And I thought that the idea of her being a Jedi was kind of fun. But then the first episode dropped, and I got my heart broken a little bit. I thought she was going to be an ongoing character in the series, and
I never got that.
not at all.
Never. And I actually was kind of hoping that she wasn't going to be.
Wow.
But not like she'd get off to anything.
Yeah.
Just like she'd show up kind of thing.
Right.
But, I like Carrie-Anne Moss.
Okay.
But I guess my overall feeling on the whole thing is I'd be okay with it being relatively unknowns to me.
Okay, I can see that.
Because I never watched Squid Games.
Yeah.
And to know that this guy's first English-speaking role, he's actually doing a great job.
Yeah. Apparently he learned English to do this, which is incredible.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Especially he's got to be around 50 years old.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's just crazy to me.
Man, that's dedication.
I loved her fight scene. And it
scene
was
was
nice
great.
to see the hand-to-hand stuff
Right.
mixed in with a little bit of the Force, but she went out like a Jedi.
And that's the part that hurts me. Not just that she did it, but you make such a good point when you say how the Jedi go out, because it's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, she's, every time knife's thrown, she's holding it in midair. I'm like, deflect it.
Yeah.
Deflect it down.
Ba-king.
Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about hitting someone, just deflect it down into the floor. Nope, she's got to hold it for that dramatic pause and then get one right in the gut.
That's right.
Or where the chest. I guess it was the chest. And then, that's right up there with Qui-Gon Jinn dying. It's just that should never happen. And when Darth Maul hits him in the chin, he should have done a backflip. And I don't understand why he never did.
Just roll with it.
Not to mention the whole thing about the running really fast, what they did in the beginning of the movie, and that never happens again until, kind of, in the second hand-to-hand.
Do you know, I just saw, I think it was a TikTok, and it made me so mad I didn't share it with you, that they explain why Obi-Wan couldn't do it. And it's because you have to charge up your force power in order to do so, which is what Qui-Gon and Maul were doing. So when Qui-Gon sits down to meditate and Maul is pacing, they are charging themselves up so that they could do that. And Obi-Wan never takes the time to charge himself, and that's why he doesn't force run like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's so
exactly.
lame.
Exactly.
That is so lame.
Thank you.
I'm like, because Superman could have done that because, he didn't lay in the sun long enough.
He didn't, right? It was a eclipse day. Okay, it was a partial eclipse day, so he was a step behind, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
and sucks to suck.
I don't like that excuse at all.
That's what I felt. But okay, so Jedi don't necessarily think in terms of that. Could we pretend that it would be acceptable because maybe the weaponry that they're fighting is not something that they're generally accustomed to? No, because Maul was using a lightsaber, so I can't even play with that one either.
Well, but we'll just get away from that part of it. But the whole, I think if anything, it proves the point that the Jedi are not egocentric, but
they think way too highly.
Yeah, they do think so. They think that they can do no wrong.
Yeah. I definitely felt that when Ogura walks in, and I think that's kind of one of the things that when you talk about the Jedi, it's hard to kind of balance their powers, right? Because let's say Yoda is there, and this is so funny because I just watched Revenge of the Sith with Juno for no good reason last week, and Yoda can feel things that other Jedi don't seem to be able to feel, right? And so like when and I can't think of the assassin's name, but when she walks in, there should have been some air of negativity that.
Are you talking about May?
Yes, thank you. That should have been felt. Like, why are you? What do you?
Right.
What do you want?
There should have been a disturbance in the force.
Yes.
Yes.
And the fact that there wasn't.
Right.
Is always one of those things where I'm like you position them to have this ability that's so great, but then when they need it, you just kind of throw it out the window. Yeah. I'm like, womp womp. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
That disappoints me. To that end, I was disappointed that Carrie-Anne Moss died right away. Because even if it was first episode, I didn't want it to be at the beginning. But you said this is a fight scene that they showed. Was it where did you see this at?
That was a clip that they released like a couple weeks before.
Got you.
To get people hyped.
Okay, but you didn't see her die, right? Like, you just
I didn't see the clip.
Oh.
Well, I didn't want to watch everything.
Okay,
I mean,
fair.
I'd seen the trailer, and the trailer was already like.
I mean, it told a lot.
Why am I watching this? Oh, that's right. It's got Star Wars on it. And, and it's just like my overall opinion of it is that it's okay, which I guess is better than why.
That is better. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say a step in the right direction. But should we be in a place where we're just accepting okay anymore? Like, or we should be wanting good.
I think that starting out,
yeah,
not knowing what, and it's not a murder mystery, but crime scene kind of.
Right.
So it's Jedi cops basically, which I'm okay with that,
right.
And that's an interesting take on it and everything. And it's thankfully it wasn't the, it's the same. It's her, but she's got multiple personalities type thing.
Right.
But it's not that much better being the evil twin.
I mean, that's a little Star Trek-y. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it just evil twin is that seems so sci-fi.
True.
At least that's a part of Star Wars that I can actually say is sci-fi.
Okay.
Whereas there's not much else you can say. I enjoyed it. I mean, but I'm just like, I'm not going gangbusters over it.
Okay. I only watched the first episode, so
Yeah.
I know I gotta catch up, especially because a new episode drops almost immediately. You said tonight. Right?
Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to catch up. With the setup of this era of Star Wars stuff, how far removed are we exactly from the Skywalker series?
Well, I mean, the Jedi Council's still around, so this is probably it's in the prequels.
Prequels area?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, because I'm trying to figure out like who might we see walking through? Like, could we see Mace Windu? Could we see Qui-Gon? Like how far removed from things that we've already seen will we be from this? Because I'm really curious.
I think you have a better chance of seeing R2-D2 and C-3PO than you do anybody else.
That's tricky.
Well,
right.
that's just because that's easy to do.
True.
I think you can't make Liam Neeson look. He looked awful in Obi-Wan at the end. He looked old, and he shouldn't.
Right,
because he was dead.
He was a Force ghost.
Yeah,
he should have been
just, but he looked old.
Yeah, like they should have used footage.
I love seeing him back, but he looked old.
I got you.
I almost think that maybe Yoda would probably be your best bet.
Okay.
Or one of the other members of the Jedi Council that I don't remember because I don't care that much. I like Star Wars a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoy Star Wars, but there's the ancillary characters.
There are so many,
and that's what they are.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about Boba Fett. It's an ancillary character.
True.
He has a job to do, and that's all I need to know. And he did it, and he was part of it, and he was gone.
And then they brought him back.
And I didn't have a problem with them bringing him back.
Yeah.
I had a problem with the story that they told about him because this guy's supposed to be some sort of badass, and he just wasn't. He was an old man.
Which is fair. Which is very fair.
But I think it's better to be okay than to make people rage.
I I can agree with that because I think
because it's moving in the right direction.
Right, like it's holding at the very least on a positive. It keeps you from going to the dark side about this.
And I also don't think that Dave Filoni's name is on there anywhere.
I don't think I saw that either. Yeah. So who is the mastermind behind this one? It's not Jon Favreau either.
No, it's the showrunner is the woman that wrote and directed the first 2 episodes.
Okay,
I want to say.
all right.
And I can't remember. She's been a showrunner on something before.
Got you.
I'm just at the point where I just don't want to be disappointed, I guess.
I can definitely understand that.
I want something. I want something good.
Mm-hmm.
I want, though Andor I think is
absolutely high marks.
Yeah,
high marks.
That is the grown-up version of Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was funny that there was a interview with George Lucas, and he was saying that Disney's pretty much doesn't have an idea of what they're doing.
Wow.
He didn't say it in that, but he also said that Star Wars was made for 12-year-olds, and I'm like, I've been saying that for years.
I mean, it is true. It is true.
But sometimes I feel it's written by 12-year-olds.
They know their own stuff. That's what it is. No, I can definitely see that. And when it comes to the writing part of Star Wars, and there's been so many different things that have had like extended universe tie-ins.
Yeah.
I was curious as to how much of this might have. Because we were just talking about this, and I can't think of her name how to say it because it's.
I know who you're.
Yeah, she's green. She's
bald.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, she appears in material. I don't even know what material, but some material. Whether
yeah,
it's
and I don't know about that either because if it was like a video game, I might not know it is, but if it was a book,
nothing.
Unless someone said, "Hey, this person was in a book,"
right?
I'm not gonna know.
Okay, all right. Because I was just curious, like, again, this is one of those things where because we're coming at it outside of the Skywalker saga, per se, is this one of those things where it's better if you know some of these old stories and you're like, oh, I get that reference or something like that. I only saw her character intro, right? So when she talks to Buddy that's going to go investigate this murder, that's the only time I've seen her. So does she appear more in the second episode? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Venestra Rowe.
Yes, Venestra. I don't know if I would have said that if I read that the first time. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Venestra. That's all right. Yeah, we're gonna have to see where she comes from because I'm curious.
I actually was a little interested in seeing Daphne King.
Okay.
And hearing her talk.
Oh. Why? Any particular reason? Like
because I thought
accent?
she was like of Latin descent.
I think so.
But she actually grew up in England.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I found that out afterwards.
Okay. All right. That's fun. Okay. Yeah. High Republic era. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, there's a huge history here, so clearly it's from something.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly what. Unless they come up with all this stuff just to, have it as backstory for her piece on the show. Would that be too complicated to have as a showcase here? If this was all just things set up for the show, would that be crazy? 'Cause that's a lot.
I mean, she's been in other things.
Yeah. I see some comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I think there's a lot here, but it doesn't really say. Hey.
Oh, she's the one with the whip. Oh. Okay, so I do need to watch that second episode.
She doesn't really do anything other than like be the head of the Jedi Council. So maybe I have no idea when this takes place.
All right. Yeah, because if she's the head, Mace and Yoda aren't there. All right. I'm always curious about that, like, because that's always kind of a tricky thing when there's time, looking at all that stuff.
Yeah, she's
okay. Yeah,
born in Spain.
Yep.
Yeah, and because I thought that one of the problems when she was in Logan,
right,
was that she couldn't speak English.
Right.
But she definitely has a British accent in this.
Huh. All right.
And she's also super short at 5'1". So
wow.
Yeah.
She's closer to Wolverine than Wolverine.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. Okay, all right. So the Acolyte is one that I definitely will come back to. I'll definitely finish at least the second episode and see if I can gear up for what episode 3 has. How long is this one? Do we know? Is it 8 episodes?
I think it's 8.
Okay, all right.
I want to say it's 8, and they're like half hour long. So
that's not bad. All right. I don't know why. I definitely saw the first one rather late at night, so I did not remember exactly how long it was.
Yeah, it's 8 episodes.
Okay, all right, that's not terrible. Do you have any thoughts on the fact that they're doing this with a weekly release? Is this a smart thing to do for Disney Plus?
I always think a weekly release is smart because it gives you a chance to talk about it with other people, as opposed to I burned through that. Oh yeah, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all. Right. Or it was, oh, you're just getting around to that type thing.
Right.
I mean, I kind of did that with Andor because I just kept putting it off. I just couldn't get into it because of my feelings about Rogue One. And I think once I put those aside, then I was just like, okay, let me. I'm actually doing that with Discovery.
Oh,
because I didn't finish Discovery.
Okay,
I'm going back to the beginning of the 3rd season, and I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, it's just the first episode. I watched halfway through. I was like, I don't remember any of this.
Fair. Okay. All right. Well, then I will jump back on the Acolyte train and give this a shot. I do like the production value that I've seen so far. Again,
it's more practical.
Yes.
And I'm a fan of practical. I'm also a fan of digital as well. But apparently they didn't use the.
They didn't use the volume? Okay.
Or if they did, they didn't use it very much.
Got you. And I am a fan of that because I think there is a skill set that needs to be honed in physical spaces that I think is super important. It allows the acting to be a little bit more natural, which I like a lot. So, all right. I like that. Do you think when it comes to projects like this that are adjacent to...
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
So Acolyte takes place 100 years before episode 1.
Oh.
So I was way off.
But we still might see Yoda.
You could still, definitely could see Yoda. Probably with hair. I hope he has a fro.
And on that note...
Well, you can't handle that?
I can't, because Yoda with a fro would mess me up. He'd just be all...
A pick and
What's
everything.
Up, baby?
It'd be sticking in there.
Yoda man, yeah. What's happening? Oh, that's a terrible joke. Who did that? That was in a commercial somewhere, wasn't it? It was like, Yoda man, no, Yoda man. Oh, I can't remember what that is. If you guys remember that commercial, do us a favor, share the link in the comments below so I'm not crazy, because I know that's out there for something. But we will have you tune in next time to Into the Chatterverse, where, once again, I am Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
And I'm Bill. I'm going to go pick out my hair.
If you get a perm, I would lose it. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.